Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here and welcome to Fire Emblem Warriors. The game launched on Nintendo Switch this week in Europe and America, but thanks to the guys over at Nintendo who very kindly provided me with an early copy, I've had a chance to dive in, test it out, and record some gameplay to share with you guys. The game is being developed by the same team that worked on Hyrule Warriors, which, for those of you that remember, launched on the Wii U back in 2014 and mixed hack and slash gameplay from Dynasty Warriors with a series that is very close to my heart, home to many of my favourite games, The Legend of Zelda. I will say, I've never really been one to play the Dynasty Warriors games that much. I've dabbled in a few of them in the past, and while they're fun, it's not a series that I've followed especially closely. But as an avid Nintendo fan, when Koei Tecmo teamed up with Nintendo to create these IP mashups, so to speak, it seemed only right that I should check them out. Plus, as someone that takes the Nintendo Switch everywhere with them, and plays it probably more than anything else right now, I'm always keen to check out new games for the system. So with that in mind, let's talk Fire Emblem Warriors.
My turn.
To begin with, for those of you unfamiliar with Fire Emblem, then Fire Emblem Warriors is a completely new kind of game for the series. Fire Emblem is traditionally a turn-based strategy RPG where combat takes place on a grid and you systematically move your units around, taking out enemy forces whilst factoring in different classes, weapon triangles, etc. Meanwhile, Warriors, as previously discussed, is a hack and slash game, but what's cool is that some of the underlying systems present in more traditional Fire Emblem games still hold true in this title. At its most basic, when you begin a mission in Fire Emblem Warriors, you'll load into a map. There will be key locations you need to capture, which is done by clearing out noteworthy enemies within the zone, and you'll also have boss-like enemies you'll need to defeat in order to either progress the objective or complete the mission. Maps are large, with multiple objectives to juggle, and much like you would in a traditional Fire Emblem game, in Warriors you can hop between your different units, issuing commands, taking control, and covering multiple locations across the map mid-fight. You'll unlock more characters as you progress through the game. In total, there are about 20 familiar faces from the Fire Emblem series, each of whom play very differently, have their own unique moves, weapons, and abilities. You level up your characters individually, and then outside of missions, there's scope to upgrade them in a number of different ways, which we'll speak about shortly. As to be expected of a hack and slash title, you'll go face to face with hundreds of enemies, and while the basic grunts don't present much of a challenge, there is something hugely satisfying about laying waste to your enemies with one fell swoop. I often describe these games as video game stress balls. Sure, they might not carry the same level of depth that other action-oriented games do or strategy RPGs, but when you just want to chill out and have fun, then it's honestly such a great experience being able to do something like this.
Pick a god and pray.
However, I mentioned earlier that despite the drastic genre shift, some of the core components present in more traditional Fire Emblem games still hold true. One such system being weapon triangles. Certain weapon types beat others, and within your team you'll have units that excel in certain areas. Early game, you can really just get by attacking furiously at anything that crosses your path, but as you begin to progress and your opponents get tougher, it pays to take the time to move your units around more strategically and take control of them in situations that fit them best. Before games begin, you can manage your deployment, so you have some scope over where they should begin the mission, and this can ultimately help out late game. Any units you don't actively control at that time are AI controlled, but as mentioned, you can swap to them freely mid-mission to get stuck in if you need something done in a certain way. Furthermore, a system that is present in the Fire Emblem series is the notion of Perma Death for some characters. Characters that fall in battle can remain dead from that point onwards, and Fire Emblem Warriors gives you that option. When you first start the game, and you pick your difficulty, you have the option to pick the more traditional classic mode, where when characters die, they remain dead, or you can opt for the slightly more forgiving mode if you're looking to just chill out and lay waste to enemy soldiers. Also in combat, you can pair up two heroes to allow you to unleash some pretty devastating combos in battle. When paired together, you can quickly swap between the two characters to continue your damaging combos, and then when you pull off your special moves, they act together for some rather flashy finishes. Combat is pretty quick to pick up. You have light attacks, strong attacks, and hero moves that you can perform, like the ones you just saw, when you have enough meter. You build meter by fighting, and you can work those moves into your combos. Mixing light and heavy attacks allows you to stun enemies, so there are some pretty cool combo possibilities. Plus, some of the other characters have some great crowd control moves, so you have the potential to really clean up shop when enemies are grouped up. Outside of the missions, you can also update your characters, swap out their gear, give them new weapons, upgrade their weapons, and also use crests to upgrade their offensive, defensive, or boost options. Some of these will alter how frequently you can heal, what types of weapons you can use, or even the combos available to you for certain characters. The game is also compatible with all Fire Emblem Amiibo and some more, and some of them will grant you materials that you can use for upgrades, meanwhile others, Chrom for example, will give you exclusive weapons. Furthermore, for those of you looking to play with a friend, you can also team up both on the TV or tabletop mode for some same screen multiplayer action. I haven't had a chance to test that out myself since I've been playing this all solo, but it is an option for 2 players. So in summary, I'm actually really enjoying this game. It's the sort of game you can just kick back, relax, and just have fun with, whilst also having a degree of depth for those of you that want to invest a little more time in. If you're looking for that stress ball experience, then throw the game on normal mode, ignore the classic settings so you don't have to worry about your heroes dying, and just dive headlong into battle and feel epic. But if you want a more tactical experience, then dial up the difficulty, turn on classic so you really have to manage your units and care about them, plan your battles properly, factoring in weapon triangles, deploy locations, and team synergy, and you can get a whole lot more out of it. It's a fun game that I can see myself easily losing quite a few hours to, since battles are quick and you have this tendency to just want to do one more mission and then you realise 3 hours later that you're still going. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's a quick look at Fire Emblem Warriors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are picking this game up. Maybe you've had a chance to play it already. But either way, thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.